Ashley Schaefer is on. What's up, Ashley?
Hi, Ashley.
Who do we got here? What's happening? Yo. That's my saying. What are you taking that from me for? Alright, we're waiting a couple minutes here before we get into the questions. What's up, Scott?
Scott.
What's happening? Before we get into the questions, this week's questions for Sunrise Nutrition and Fitness is on nutrition.
Jane.
What's up, Jane?
Jane.
Thanks for jumping on. Waiting a couple minutes here, and then we'll get into hello, Megan, and then we will get into what we have for questions, and we will go from there. Hello. Thank you for getting on. This week's Q&A will be on nutrition. We post every Monday what the topic is, and then every Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time we go live and answer everybody's questions. So Megan or Janice or Deriva, if you guys ever have any questions, shoot it to us, and we would love to answer it on Thursdays. And obviously, Ashley and Scott, you guys know what to do. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Again, thanks everybody who's on. This week's topic is on nutrition. And the first question I got this week was good foods to get fat in.
Basically, good fats your good healthy fats would be like avocados. You get them from nuts and seeds, any type of oils like olive oil, coconut oil, and even some of your butters like nut butters. Those are good options as well.
Almond butter. Yeah, and that's a lot of that goes back to whole foods. Obviously you can get some fat from cheese. You can get some fat from whole milk and stuff. A lot of that stuff's a little more processed. Both of us try to stay away from dairy, but there's nothing wrong with it if that's your thing. Excuse me, you can get fat from dairy. One thing I've noticed though, if I'm counting my counting my macros, especially like protein, by the time I add in my meat for the day, I don't really have to figure out my fat. The meat usually takes care of about 90% of it, and then basically what I have left over, I'll throw a handful of almonds or a tablespoon of peanut butter or something like that. And I really don't have to plan fat too much because you shouldn't be eating a ton of it, and it should be pretty easy to fill in the blanks when you're done doing your protein.
Or even if you have eggs in the morning, eggs have a lot of fat in them as well as protein, so you'll get a lot of that from there as well.
What's up, Juan?
Hi, Juan.
So yeah, definitely I eat a lot of eggs, so it's easier for me. But yeah, avocados, oils, nut butters, nuts, seeds, cheese, that type of thing. All right. Our next question is it okay to go over in protein?
I would say no, just because if you're counting your macros, you want everything to be spot on. However, there's instances when you're trying to get real close to even, you might get to a point where you go a little bit over, and that's okay if you're gonna go over in anything, we'd rather it be protein than carbs or fat. But you really, if you're counting your macros, you really want to try to hit all of your stuff as spot on as you can.
Yeah, sure. Try to be close. Obviously, we don't shoot for perfection. None of us are perfect, so try to shoot close. And yeah, if you're gonna be over in anything, have it be over in protein. And the reason we say that is basically everything in your body is made or repaired by by protein itself in the amino chain. And so, the extra isn't going to kill you. Where carbs or fat oftentimes are stored as fat. If you're not using that energy, it gets stored. And so, obviously protein can too in the long run of things, but if you give your muscles a little bit more chance to take on some more protein, it'd be better off than more carbs or more fat. So that would be kind of what we're looking for in that realm of things. Carol, what's happening? Hola.
Hola.
All right. Question number 3 is, what is a good protein supplement?
Go ahead.
This one has math, so she's going to let me do it.
Math is not my thing.
I don't give a shit about what protein you take. I'm not going to sit here and try to sell you anything. It doesn't matter to me. What I do care about is the protein that you do get is of high quality, and
it's the most pure.
Yeah, so think of protein like cocaine. If we're going to buy high in the purity and use it to the best of its ability, nobody wants crappy cocaine and nobody wants crappy protein. So what I mean by that is, take the grams of protein per serving. So let's say it's 30 grams of protein divided by the grams of the serving, and it'll all be on the back of the nutrition facts on the back of the label. You can do this super quick in the store, wherever you're at, to find what you are looking at. So say the grams of protein is 30 grams a scoop, and say the scoop is 35 grams total. If you take 30 divided by 35, it'll be like 86.597 or something like that. And I'm only using that because I know of a protein that is the case. What we shoot for is 85% or higher. If you are purchasing protein that is less, chances are the sugar's high, chances are the fat's high, chances are the carbohydrates are high, or chances are the fillers are really high. So the cup's probably like really big, and you got to take 2 scoops maybe or something like that. Hey Sarah, thanks for coming on. And the scoops are really big. A lot of times, it'll be full of like rice filler or sucralose or
lactose.
Rice. There's all kinds of stuff that they put into protein powder to make the tubs look real big and make the tubs look real full and make you think that huge scoop is going to be awesome for you. But in all actuality, the percentage of protein, because at the end of the day, we're buying protein. We're not trying to buy a bunch of other shit. So I try to keep the carbs really low, like below 5 or below. Try to keep the fat low, 5 or below. And I try to get the protein as high as possible and as pure as possible, and you'll be getting the most bang for your buck. So like I said, I'm not trying to sell you on any shit. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care what supplement you use. Find one that's high in purity and you'll be using a good supplement. That's all I care for. That's all I care about, is that you're getting good stuff. Hey, what's up, Felix? Thanks for getting on, man. So yeah, what do you got?
I think you nailed it.
A lot of times they're a little less flavorful, a little less, but they're better for you. It's usually a higher quality way. It's not the foo-foo fluff that they cram into their stuff. But you can still find some decent flavored ones and a little easier on the digestive system. Some people are lactose intolerant, and whey can kind of mess you up. So if that's the case, shoot for the best that you can. And if you are lactose intolerant, don't be afraid to try like a vegan protein. Or
they have a lot of different good brands out there. Some that you can even get from Walmart.
Yeah.
That are pretty decent as well.
Sure, and that's one thing that we really try to do is we don't supplement a lot. I really try to stick with whole foods and stuff. If I was going to supplement something, which I probably do every day, is maybe have a protein shake or add protein to something. And so with that, I want the highest quality, best product that I can get for the most bang for my buck. So that's what we shoot for. All right. Why do you stress whole foods? Go.
Um, well, basically, whole foods are just, they're a lot better for your body. They're not processed. When you start getting into processed food, you start dealing with a lot of sugar. Um, there's a lot of ingredients in them that is unnecessary stuff that's bad for your body. I really don't know what else to say other than like whole foods are just, you're getting the actual product and you're putting it and consuming that food and putting it in your body. And then the closer that you stick to those whole foods, the more nutrients that your body is going to absorb from that and use it.
Sure. So, just to be clear on whole foods would be like meat and veggies and fruit and nuts and seeds and eggs and fish, potatoes,
oats, rice,
grains. I like to add in water there. So if your diet is predominantly them things, that would be predominantly whole foods. And I shoot to be predominantly whole food.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that I like chips because I love chips. I'm a chip eating fool. When it fits or when I make room for it, I like chips. So what I do is I'll go to the store and I will find chips with less than 5 ingredients in it, and I mean total. So I read labels, I flip things over, I look to see what's in them. What's in chips, or what's all that should be in chips is 99% of the time is corn, oil, and salt, or sweet potato, oil, and salt, or whatever, oil and salt. That's, you can find 3 ingredient chips all day long at every store. You don't have to be at Whole Foods. You don't have to be. You can find them at Walmart. But if I'm gonna eat processed, I'm gonna find 5 ingredients or less. That's what I shoot for, or that's what we shoot for.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, sometimes I'll have a Cliff Bar, or sometimes I'll have this or that, and it has more ingredients, but I try to find then like the organic or the healthier the better that you can. But whole foods, again, if you're eating predominantly whole foods, your diet's going to be better, your health is going to be better. And drinking water, getting sun, getting plenty of rest, it's way better for your system than the stuff you're finding in the aisles at the grocery store. All right, last question for this is, are carbs bad or should I stay away from them? So carbohydrates. Are carbohydrates bad or should I stay away from them?
Go ahead.
Okay, so what's up, Tom? How you doing, my man? Hey, so are carbs bad for you? I would say absolutely not. I'm not a keto person. I don't root against it. I don't root for it. I also don't practice it, and I never will. Carbohydrates are a form of energy, and that is it. Fat is a form of energy, and that is it. Protein is a form of energy, and that is it. So all I want you to understand is that food is fuel, and to fuel your body, eat the best fuels that you can eat. So are carbs bad? Sure. Cheetos, Snickers, ice cream,
Candy bars.
yeah, I mean, is that bad? Yeah, I probably wouldn't make a diet out of it, but rice and oatmeal and sweet potatoes and any type of potato, because potatoes get a bad rap too. No, they're not bad for you. They're healthy. They have starches in them. They're energy. They're good for you. And like I said, if you're eating the right carbs, I think they're a great source of nutrition. They're a great source of nutrients. They're a great source of calories, and they're a great source of energy. If you're eating Doritos and cheese dip, then it's probably not what we're looking for anyway. So I wouldn't be too keen on being worried about that. So that's my thought on carbs. I'm sure some keto person will tell you that I'm wrong, and that's fine. I'm not here to argue nothing. I'm just telling you that for like thousands of years now, we've ate protein and carbs and fat as fuel, and it seems that we're doing just fine. So that's my thought. What's yours?
Basically, the same thing. I mean, it depends on the type of carbs that you're wanting to consume. So you have the what you call the simple carbs, which is the candy bars, the sugar, the things of that nature. But then you also have your complex carbs, which is your rice, your grains, your potatoes, things that are slower digesting, and those are going to be the ones that are the best for you and help give you the more energy. But again, with any type of food, it's all about moderation. So as long as you're not over consuming in the carbs, you're going to be just fine.
Sure, and you can't over consume in anything, but you can't. I mean, anything that you over consume in, you're over consuming in. So it's like anything else. Yeah, like you said, moderation, and that's it. So with that, I don't have any questions. Anybody on here have any questions? Any quick questions? I would be glad to answer anything that came in here. I'll give it a couple minutes if anybody has anything. Tom or Catherine or Satuba? Felix, any of you guys got anything? Or Scott or Ashley or Sarah? Anybody? On nutrition. Today's call is about nutrition. Let me know. I'll wait like another minute. Otherwise, nothing. All right then. Anybody? Going once. Going twice. All right, nobody's got nothing. Thank you, everybody, for getting on.
Yes,
we appreciate your awesome guys.
Thanks.
Hey, thank you. We'll be here every Thursday, 7 p.m. or so, I'm sorry, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Sorry, I need to back up. I'm doing two phones. We're on Facebook and Instagram. Sorry.
And we will drop the topic for next week on Monday, and then you'll have till Friday till Thursday to get your questions in, and then we'll do the same thing.
Sure. So yeah, Tuba, thanks for getting on, and I hope to see you next week. Everybody else, thank you. Spread love.
Peace out.